And we begin at 5 with new developments in the trial of Nancy Crampton Brophy, the romance novelist accused of killing her husband, Daniel Brophy, a chef at the Oregon Culinary Institute. Today, both of Daniel's parents were on the stand and revealed more about their son and the day he died. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Laurel Porter. Bryant Clerkley has been covering the trial this week and joins us with the latest. Bryant?
Hey, David and Laurel. Jack Brophy spoke about his son having a strong work ethic, and he shed more light on the financial situation that the couple had. Now, Jack Brophy said his son never told him about financial problems, but he did say he loaned Nancy $50,000 one time because she wanted to open a sandwich shop, but the couple only paid a quarter of the money back. Jack Brophy said Dan never spoke about his relationship with Nancy. He said the couple never expressed desire to own a gun either. Jack Brophy did go down to the culinary school the day of the murder and spoke about that with jurors.
When's the first time you talked to Nancy after Dan had passed?
I really don't know.
Okay.
You know, a lot is a blur after we found out it was Dan that had passed.
Karen Brophy testified again today and spoke about her son. She said he loved to cook, garden, and work around his house. Karen also said Nancy did discuss buying a gun years before Dan's death, and the trial is expected to go on for the next few weeks. We also heard testimony from 2 former employees at the Oregon Culinary Institute. They spoke about the layout of the building and the relationship Dan Brophy had with his students. Laurel?
Thank you, Bryant. Search crews are back out on Mount Hood today looking for a missing snowboarder. 30-year-old Ryan Mather was reported missing Tuesday after he didn't come home from a day at Mount Hood Meadows. His ski pass was last scanned at the Shooting Star chairlift. He's an experienced snowboarder, and rescuers are hoping those skills will help him until they can find him. Police are searching for the people behind a scary shooting on Highway 26. It happened during the evening commute just after 6 o'clock last night near Cornelius Pass Road. The victims say they were driving when a silver SUV pulled up next to them and started shooting at them. Luckily, none of them was shot, but they were hit by broken glass. No word on arrests yet, though police told us they have, quote, strong leads on the suspect.
On this vote, the yeas are 53, the nays are 47, and this nomination is confirmed.
Yes, a historic day as Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson is approved by the U.S. Senate to become the next Supreme Court justice. Jackson will be the first black woman and public defender to join the country's highest court when she's sworn in later this summer. I talked to sociology professor Shirley Jackson at PSU a short time ago about big picture, what this moment means.
I think it also speaks to how far we have yet to go as a country, where this type of confirmation hearing ended up taking on, these odd twists and turns. And I will be honest, there was some disrespect there. Let's not ignore that. There was a lot of disrespect, and we need to actually acknowledge that that disrespect when it happened. And we need to call people out for forgetting that this person is qualified and that she will do the best possible job that she can for everyone.
And you heard some references there to the at times contentious hearings. Judge Jackson faced attacks trying to portray her as soft on crime or as having a radical racial agenda. There are also those who feel some of the senators questioning her used the opportunity to air their own political grievances. By the way, 3 Republican senators gave Judge Jackson a thumbs up. Susan Collins, Mitt Romney, Lisa Murkowski, you see them there. And so did both of Oregon's Democratic senators. Senator Ron Wyden saying, quote, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson is one of the most qualified nominees I have seen and will be a critically important voice on the Supreme Court, end quote. And Senator Jeff Merkley adding, quote, carved in stone in the Supreme Court building are the words equal justice under law, and there is no more important quality in a justice than their ability to deliver on that promise. Justice Jackson's ability to do just that is why I so enthusiastically supported her confirmation. Congratulations to her. NBC Nightly News will have much more on the significance of this moment. That's in less than a half an hour, starting at 5:30.
Let's turn to the pandemic for a moment now. Oregon health officials say for the first time in more than 2 months, they are seeing an increase in positive COVID test results. During the week that ended on April 3rd, the percentage of tests coming back positive went up from 2.7% to 2.9%. The good news, though, is that hospitalizations continue to steadily fall. In Oregon, they're at their lowest level since July of last year. This graph shows hospitalizations dating back to April of 2020. Those two big peaks you see there were in September of 2021 and then again in January of this year. In both cases, more than 1,000 people were hospitalized statewide with COVID. Yesterday, the count was just 103.
Good perspective there. Well, a small school district in Benton County is back in the headlines again, and this time it's over a recall vote. 2 members of the All-C School Board are in danger of losing their position. Supporters of the recall have criticized Chairman Ron Coates and Vice Chairman Jeff Davis for voting to approve a resolution to make masking indoors optional when it was still a mandate across the state. Now, according to the Benton County Elections website, so far 201 people voted yes to recall Coates, 157 voted no, 196 yes to recall Davis against 160 no votes. So the results won't be official, though, until after April 25th. That's when the election is certified. The All-C School District has faced fines from OSHA, has lost COVID relief funding over its defiance of state and federal mask mandates.
Our next story takes us to East Portland, more specifically the city's most dangerous intersection.
Yeah, we're talking about Southeast 122nd and Stark. That is where dozens of people have been killed or injured in crashes. And that is where we find our Mike Benner. Mike, the city has installed new cameras to keep an eye on drivers.
Yeah, that's right, David. And these cameras are hard to miss. They're behind me, as you can see, and they're tall and they are shiny. The city says they will go a long way in advancing Vision Zero. That, of course, is the city's effort at reducing and eventually eliminating traffic-related deaths and injuries. And tell you what, judging from the folks I spoke with out here today, they're happy to see these cameras. Southeast 122nd and Stark, the most dangerous intersection in Portland, according to city leaders. And neighbors would agree.
Well, it's pretty dangerous. I almost got hit a few times, but, people just not paying attention.
People may not be paying attention. But this thing now is, what you're looking at here is an intersection safety camera, the first of its kind in Portland.
I think that's a great idea. Maybe they might slow down and actually pay attention to the road.
Important, considering Southeast 122nd and Stark has seen more than 120 people either injured or killed in crashes since 2015.
These are some of the most deadly streets in Portland where we see the highest rate of traffic fatalities and serious injuries.
Dylan Rivera, spokesperson for the Portland Bureau of Transportation, says the new cameras, installed this week, will keep tabs on both drivers who are speeding and running red lights.
This technology is not a moneymaker for the city of Portland. In fact, we lose money on technology like this. This is a proven safety benefit.
And much appreciated if you ask those living and working in East Portland.
Heck yeah. I really do like it.
All right, so this week is all about testing the cameras. Next week, the city will start issuing warnings for speeding and running red lights. And starting May 11th, the citations will come. Those will cost you anywhere between $170 and $270. The city also telling us that in the coming months, other cameras just like this will pop up at additional intersections. All of this approved by City Commissioner Joanne Hardesty, who oversees the Portland Bureau of Transportation. Let's send it back to you.